Okay, so the Scorchers have their double game week in round 4, and don't have a bye afterwards. So obviously, we should load up on as many as possible. So today I'm gonna help you decide which ones are must-haves, which ones are okay, and which ones you should avoid. So as you can see, I've got an Excel spreadsheet with the playing 11 from last night's game, and their projected price for the next round. When of course we'll be trading them in. I'll go through each player from most to least expensive and give my opinion. So first off, Marsh. Obviously he made 100 not out off 60 last night, but it doesn't look like he's going to bowl with such a deep bowling lineup for the Scorchers, especially with the addition of Mills. His 160k, which also seems like a lot to be paying, but with such a big score in round 1, his break even will be very small. So yeah, his price at 160k doesn't really matter anyway, because he'll go up. So overall, I think he's an absolute gift, an absolute bargain, and honestly, you would be stupid not to get him in. He showed great form in the T20 World Cup, is now carrying on that form to the Big Bash. Maybe he's finally reaching his potential and becoming a consistently really good player. Even if you're not going to buy that, that he's becoming all consistent stuff, I still think there's not much risk and a huge reward. So yeah, I still think no matter what you think, he should be in 100% of teams. Okay, so the next three I'm going to group together: Ty, Behrendorff, and Mills. I've grouped all of these fast bowlers together because they're pretty similar. So Ty has taken the most wickets this season for the BBL, obviously. Behrendorff has the second, the equal second most, and Mills took 3 in his first game, so they're all in great form. The Scorchers are also coming up against the Renegades at Marvel for one of their matches next round, which I mean should be pretty easy for the bowlers and basically guarantees 10 wickets. I definitely like all of these picks, but I don't think any are must-haves. If I had to choose a favourite though, it'd probably be Ty, just because he's got some great variations, and just the sheer amount of time that he's sustained a really high level in the BBL. I think he just got his 100 wickets in the BBL, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the 3rd best of all time as well, so it's pretty good. So next we go on to Munro. I got out for a duck last innings, but he got 114 after that. Before that, in the innings before that. So he's very experienced in the Big Bash, and he's a world-class player. He's batting at the top of the order, so he's got plenty of opportunity there. So obviously it's a bit of a roll of the dice whether he comes off in any single game, but as I said with Marsh, it's a bit of risk versus reward. So yeah, as we saw, that he can go really big, so I think you definitely got to have him in case he does get another big score like that. So Inglis, there are so many reasons I want to pick this guy. If not for the Australia A team, he probably would be in my starting team, but obviously he wasn't. He's been showing that he's been developing heaps as a player. He did great in the Vitality Blast and even got a spot in the World Cup squad and the Australia A team. We saw how valuable his role behind the stumps was last night. He got 2 stumpings and also got a catch, which all up actually gave him 40 points. So yeah, the only reason against him is, and the reason that he won't come into my team, is that he batted at 4. All the way down there, you're just not going to get enough opportunity, in my opinion. On top of that, I've already said Marsh and Munro locks, and I've already got Patterson in my team, which are the top 3 batters. So yeah, probably don't want to get the whole top 4 of the Scorchers. So going to Evans, I think Evans is the biggest trap that I've ever seen. Obviously he played pretty well last night, but he had a huge break even, so his price isn't even going to go up. He also batted at 6 and didn't bowl, and as we know, the unwritten rule in Supercoach, no middle order batters. And even further to that, he is an English player, and we know what happens. The English players don't always have great success in the Big Bash. Obviously, there are a few examples of like Vince and Hales and stuff who do, but yeah, most of them aren't too successful. So I think Evans definitely just don't pick him at all, I would say. Agar, I don't know why you wouldn't have Agar already, because yeah, he's was one of my must-haves at the start of the season. But yeah, he's gone up a bit in price now, so I'm not sure that he's an absolute lock. But he has been bowling pretty good, so his price should keep going up. If you don't have him, yeah, I think he's still a decent option. But yeah, he hasn't been batting too well, so yeah, you don't have to get him in if you don't already. But anyway, we'll go on to Patterson. Patterson, like, the earlier you picked him, the better, because he's just been earning a ton of cash. Now, like, he won't earn you as much cash, because obviously he's already earned it. He's higher in price now. I still think he is a decent pick, though, because he is opening, thanks to Inglis and Marsh coming back, who pushed Bancroft out of the team. However, if he does have a few bad games, I think Bancroft definitely could come back and replace him, which wouldn't be great. But overall, not a bad pick. Definitely not a must-have, but it's fair. Hatzoglu, he's taken 2 wickets this season so far, which is why he's at such a good price, but obviously shows that he's in pretty bad form. I think he could be a good pod if you think he can bounce back. Obviously, he's definitely value if you think he can bounce back. But yeah, I just don't see, when you have so many good options, why you'd want to pick someone who's in bad form. But anyway, I think the last person is Ashton Turner. He did bowl last game, but I wouldn't get sucked in by that. He only bowled 1 over, and I don't even know if he's going to get to bowl every game. Basically, I'd consider him like only a middle order batsman, and of course, you can't pick that in Supercoach. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on, and don't forget to comment down below as well. Yeah, thanks for watching.